Hey, Bucks here. So today I got a review of Mike Trout, and obviously it's a special card since I haven't really done these in a while. And Mike Trout himself, right? Obviously, let's get it out of the way at the top. I'm disappointed that he was the large collection reward. There's speculation that maybe there's another one, which kind of is funny because his stats are amazing, but that really says a lot about him. That people are like, oh wait, maybe there's a second step to it. It's just kind of embarrassing that they're like, hey, well. Yeah, they got to have something more for us, right? So, with that said, the stats, the way the card plays, it is great. I'll show this. I'll show my stats. The attributes here are great. 90 speed on him, 66 steals, a little low in my mind. You can obviously prestige him, which I haven't yet. I've only got to 28 plate appearances now. This is all event. And now you can look at it 393, and that is very low for me, right? That is actually a bad average, especially on All-Star. That's more towards my Hall of Fame average. For a hitter like this. So, like, you're like, well, what the hell happened? Like, right, 5 strikeouts in 28 plate appearances. I think I started to press a little bit, right? You get that sometimes when you get a new card, you want to perform. So, while his stats in this small sample size maybe aren't up to snuff, 6 home runs in 30 at-bats, I will say the greatest thing you can say about a card is he has a lot of bailout factor, right? He'll bail you out in certain situations you shouldn't succeed on, right? Perfecting in the ball and hitting out of the park. A lot of cards can do that, right? Hitting great hits and like well-timed, that kind of stuff. Hung breaking balls, fastballs that you square up. A lot of cards can hit those out. Even like 70 power, Jason Kendall hit those things out. So, when you take it look at like versus Stan Musial, right? Stan Musial's hitting 583 for me here in the event in 36 plate appearances. So kind of similar numbers, but like way better batting average, 8 home runs. So I want to go through some Mike Trout clips here as we kind of like look to what he can do and how he bails you out. Let me switch over quickly to that as we go to the pictures. There it is, pictures. All right, so I just want to say this is one like here it is. Here's a home run. I accidentally hit the recording too late. This is right at the beginning of the game, but here's Mike Trout. This is what I talk about with a bailout factor, right? This is obviously all-star, so his PCI is the size of the moon. Contact versus righty here is 116 power, 125, and you can basically see it. It is a hung breaking ball, so we'll go a little bit further, but 109 off the bat on a ball that's not really centered. The timing is slightly off there. It's pretty good. I mean, you expect this to be a home run. So Mike Trout hits a home run when you expect it. Pretty nice, a little bit above the zone. But let's take a look at the rest of it. Here's him pitching, taking a look. Ball, watching it, and zoom right there. All right, so this is a shot right up the middle. With his 94 mile per hour fastball. It's a good timing, slightly ahead of it on the outside part of the plate. So he shot at the middle, right? Pretty neat stuff. 99 miles per hour. Kind of what you expected, right? 116 contact. I think having that high contact there is a very big bailout. And it's kind of something you really want to see. Here it is. Perfect. Of course, you want a guy with a nice uppercut. Mike Trout's swing is actually pretty quick, right? A lot of right-hander hitters don't have quick swings. Some lefties have pretty slow swings, so you can kind of jam a lot. If you can get on it, Trout is one of the quicker swings from the right-handed side that I've seen, which is really cool, right? That one got off the bat. The thing about power is, power, I don't think it makes the ball go faster. Like, the maximum I've seen is 114. Maybe you've seen higher than that yourself. But, Stanton this year, he got like a 120 mile per hour home run, but you'll never see that in the show. I do think they need to up the exit velocities, at least for, like, the high-end power guys. The ones over, so 125 power, I don't think it makes the ball go over, like, the max exit velocity. I just think it gives you, like, a bigger range of being able to hit the home run. But that's unconfirmed. I don't know if I see any testing. All right, so let's take a look at what else he has. I kind of want to watch these things. Let's just let it play while I'm going through. So, obviously, user input still matters more than anything, right? He threw a cutter. I expected it to be, like, a slider type deal or a one to go down the slurve from Kluber. Kluber is a tough one to handle, even at All-Star. Like, the sinker in on the hands is still, I think, one of the best pitches in the game, if not the best pitch in the game, because it's hard to time because it looks like it's breaking. Like that slurve right there. I swung right through it because I was thinking high sinker, high fastball, that kind of stuff. See how the slurve, the slurve kind of, like, goes up a little bit, and then it, like, just like his sinker, goes up and then down. So when I saw that upward movement, I was like, oh, sinker. So I swung right through it. So obviously, user input matters a ton on these cards. And Mike Trout's, no different. But what's his bailout factor? Let's look at it. See, sinker kind of in on the hands. I'm a little bit late. You guys have probably seen that a lot. Doesn't hit a home run. So the bailout factor there, not exactly. Because sinkers just seem to be, kind of freaking amazing. So there it is. Let's take a look at his frames and how many frames it takes him to get to that inside fastball. Let's take a look. And right when I start swinging is when we'll start doing it. I think this is the animation right here. I think this is the start. 1 frame, 2 frame, 3 frame, 4 frame, and he's through. 4 frames to get there. That is remarkably fast. Versus what I've seen with other cards. I think that's it. 4 frames. I've seen a lot of other right-handed hitters be 5 framers to the inside. So Trout has an remarkably quick swing. The thing about a quick swing though, also with a quick swing on the outside pitches, you'll be a little bit ahead of it, which is okay. So there I just, it was an upper one. I was late on swinging my PCI there. Didn't get there in time. He hit me with 99 up in the thing. I know it's all-star and I shouldn't be late, but there's Trout with the bailout factor, right? This is what I'm talking about with hitters being bailout kings. Horrible. I know I got my PCI in it, but late on inside stuff. A lot of players will break their bats on that kind of hit. Trout ended up lining it to the right. Well, a soft liner, 79 off the bat, which is better than like 99 because that'd have been caught if it was 99. So there's a 98 mile per hour fastball. See what I'm talking about? That one, what was that velocity? Oh, that we didn't see the velocity, but that was closer to 90 off the bat than 70. So sometimes power will screw you if you get too much of it and you line it right at the fielder. But generally, more power better, right? It is a power meta. Just late on the outside sinker, we can watch it. So, like, yeah, if you're facing a right-hand, and the thing about right-handed hitters, the problem is he's not a switch hitter, too. So, like, right-handers have a huge advantage on you. The slurves or sliders, they go away from you. Good pitch there. Caught me looking. I should be protecting that kind of stuff. There's a nice little one on the outside part of the plate that he takes. Like, look at this. Look at this bailout factor, right? Look at this shit. It's gone by a healthy margin. It's at the upper portion of my PCI. I'm early on it. You want to be early on outside pitches if you're going to yank home runs, but this was a huge bailout that Trout gave me. That's the pitch, and that's the bailout. 99 off the bat on a 98 mile per hour fastball. That's the bailout that said, okay, yeah, Trout is special. That's the swing that got me to think, okay, Trout is amazing. The only issue is Trout is that he's right-handed, right? In my lineup, I like a balance between righties, lefties, switches. Obviously, you want all switches, but then you see this one, a split finger, yeah. On the edge of the PCI should definitely be a pop-up. That one I like. Definitely shouldn't have been rewarded for that edge of the PCI type hit. We can watch this play out. I don't have to go with my fingers and move it along like that. We can just watch it real time. So overall, Trout, is he worth it, right? Is he worth the collection? It depends on how many stubs you have. I don't think he is, personally. A right-handed outfielder when we already have Mickey in center. We'll get Ken Griffey Jr. probably in a couple months till he gets here. There's a nice line shot, cutter away off the end of the bat, and it's caught. So it is what it is. So, like, overall, is it worth locking out? If you already have them, if you're okay, if you like the cards, if you like collecting cards, then sure, go ahead and grab Trout. He's a very good card, amazing. But I don't think he's significantly better than, like, Larry Walker, right? If you asked me Larry Walker and a million stubs or Mike Trout, I'd take Larry Walker 10 out of 10 times, right? He's a lefty bat for the outfield, too, which is nice. Infielders, you don't have really top-end good infielders. Like, you could argue Pablo Sandoval at third base, but really the best third basemen are right-handed hitters. Killebrew. I guess you could say George Brett's a good lefty, but he's not top-end power like you like to see. So this is a really cool play right here. I'll show it back. So basically what he did was take an inside pitch that I put a terrible swing on, sinker in on the hands, right? 99 mile per hour sinker in the hands. What did I talk about? That one's my, boogeyman. That's probably the pitch, that and like the low and away slider. Those things set up so well with each other. Those are my worst 2 pitches I'm against this. I do worse against those pitches this year. But anyways, late, he still is able to power it out there far enough to score. 62 speed runner. I don't know who that was in center field, but I think he had a pretty decent arm the way it got there pretty quickly. It was a close play at the end. So that's it, right? Mantle, I definitely think the Mantle collection is more important. Mantle, I think, is by far and away better than Trout. Maybe not far and away. That's a nice one, but that's, oh my God, look at that bailout. Woo! I still think Mantle's better because he's switch hitter and basically offers everything that Trout does. I think a little bit better arm too. So like I would definitely go with Mantle over. I think does Mantle have better stealing than him too? I can go back and look, but definitely do the live series collection before this collection. You can argue you can make this one more. There's a nice little quick swing down the line. He got around on that very nicely, inside fastball. So that's it. Trout, I would go ahead and I mean if I had to give him a pure on number grade out of 10 for his performance on the field, I think he's a 9.5 because lack of switch hitting it definitely feels bad, man, right? A pure right-handed hitter, I think, is the least value of all hitters. It goes switch hitters, left-handed hitters, right-handed hitters, because most of the best pitchers in this game are right-handed outside of, like, and especially the ones that throw juice, which are, Hal throws some pretty good juice, but not a lot. You don't see Hal as much outside of, like, more budget teams. People have kind of moved on to more sinker ballers now. The other one would be, like, Aroldis Chapman if late in the game, but you don't see him as much as you see, like, right-handed starters like Oral. You see Kluber. You're going to see a little bit of Smoltz, Wood, and a few of those face of the franchise guys, I guess. I don't know how many people have the 500,000 stub feller, but probably not many. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. I think he's good, but with his price included, I'm going to give him a 9 flat because I don't think if you can't afford him, you aren't missing a whole lot. Sure, he's scary if you're up there pitching against them because you're like, oh my god, this guy spends a ton. He's a fucking grinder. But overall, I think a lot of the other outfield options are equally solid, right? When I said Larry Walker, Mantle, really those are the only two that I'd take with him. So, Ken Griffey Jr. is not good above All-Star, but on All-Star, 125 power is just a straight up fucking glitch. So, do what you want. There's another bailout. Like, this was a huge bailout. Do you see that? So, Trout is bailing my ass out. A four-seam fastball, what is it, like 2 or 3 inches off the plate? And he nails it. Down the line, guy can't scoop it. Let's see the exit velocity on that one. The exit velocity there was 90. So not like amazing exit velocity, but still. Come on. Edge of the PCI, 90 miles per hour. Hell, Trout. So yes, good. But overall, you're still going to need to have solid PCI placement. Like this one right here. I'm thinking fastball, and it ends up being a slider to the middle. And so I'm over top of it. And he gets the ground out on me. So that's it. Oh, and one last clip. I found this one. Like this is Mantle. But watch this shit. This is why people don't like the game. All right, middle, if you saw. Slightly ahead of it, center of the PCI, and I'm out. I hate you. I really hate you. That probably came off at 97 miles per hour. I think that came off. Middle of the PCI, good timing, slightly ahead of it, exactly what you want to do, and I'm out. Real sad bros. Otherwise, Mike Trout, going back to him. Good golly. I would get him. If you can. But overall, don't worry about it if you can't. Thanks for watching. Call to action. Let me know what you guys think about him. Did you grab him?